Hello there, Aries. My name's Frankie. I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading is going to be for Aries for May of 2021. Geez, this year's going pretty fast, isn't it? For everybody who's new out there, I pull 4 cards and we use the bottom card on the deck for an overall view of the month. And we'll pull an angel card at the end of the reading, hopefully to bring everything together for us. Now, I am an empath, so I have a weird speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you during the reading. I guess it makes all you Aries named Frankie for the time of the reading. Look at your moon sign and your rising sign. You'll get a more comprehensive view of the month. And I don't believe the cards are going to go week by week. I think they'll blend in and out throughout the month as an overall theme. Now, we have some good words. They're transformation, strength, expansiveness, resilience, and power. And it looks like, looking down at these cards, like for some of us, this is going to be some kind of maybe a love reading or new friendship readings coming in. Now, 2 of the cards are pretty tough, but they're not something we can't overcome. Remember, we have really good words here. This first card here is the 8 of Swords. And the reason this is tough, it's like the 2 of Swords, the lady with the swords crossed across the front of her chest. That's a card called denial. In this one, the person's all blindfolded, even their mouth is covered up, so they're not speaking, they're not seeing, they're not doing anything. So it's not denial. It means that they know there's something wrong in their lives and that there's choices or decisions. So it's not actually denial in this sense of the word. They know they have to do it, but they feel either trapped or that the fact that they just can't do it right now, it's the wrong time to do it, something like that. A lot of people think of this as a really, really negative type of card, but I'm really not thinking like that, because if we look, they have 8 swords stuck in the ground all around them, and they're tied up in these loose, like cloth, not even rope or anything like that. All they have to do is shake those down right off of them, take off that blindfold, open their eyes, and actually look at this situation, because these swords are supposedly in sand. You could kick them over, by using your feet. Our feet aren't tied up down there like we can see on here. If she looks at the situation really clearly, she'll see that the situation is causing her great unhappiness, but this person is not without power. They are not without power, and we have the word power down here. So they're not without power, they're not without strength and the ability to transform a situation or to change the matter. The bad situation could just be a temporary thing, something they need to make a decision about. It's really important, but they have to have the resolve to shake free of these ties that are binding them and to make the choice, look at it clearly, and to speak up for their own selves. What's going on in my life right now that is not suitable for me? What is it? Is it my work bothering me? Is it maybe a relationship that I shouldn't be in anymore? It's not the right relationship for me. Things like that. Really looking. Did I make an investment maybe? And I didn't feel real comfortable when I made that investment. I knew it wasn't right for me, but I let the broker or whatever con me into it, and I said, okay, and I just did it. And it was against my better judgment. I think that this card means there are certain things that are happening around us that we might want to go back, relook at, take off that blindfold, speak up about it, and change or transform that. Take our power back, stand in our own strength, and speak our peace, because we don't want change forced on us. That's something none of us like, period. We just don't like it. When we have choices to make, we make them ourselves, and no one tells us how to make those choices. And that's just the way it is, period. Because right after that, we get another swords card. Remember, this is mental energy. Swords are mental energy. This is what's going on in my brain. These are the things I'm thinking about. So this Seven of Swords, it tells us to be cautious, extremely cautious in all of our dealings. It suggests like a roundabout approach to everything, or indirect type of communication, communicating indirectly, which we don't do. It's called beating around the bush. And if we have something to tell you, we are definitely going to tell you. You're going to hear about it. Now, there's two cards here that are telling us, one's telling us best to use this indirect approach, and the other one's telling us, look at it. Take off the blindfold, look at it. So nothing right now is what it seems to be on the outside. So we have to use our wits or our brain, our mental capacity to achieve whatever it is that we're aiming at. So the card tells us to avoid at all costs overconfidence. So if we're getting full of ourselves, we are not transforming anything. This card always tells me zip your lip, because lack of proper prudence can still do us in. So it tells me don't open up my mouth, don't tell everybody everything about me in my life. So right now we got an upper hand over a tricky situation, something that's bothering us, but we still need to exercise caution in all of our dealings. So it's a time when we can begin new attempts, right, at overcoming previous failures, anything that caused us aggravation or grief before. But we can't go at it like a bull in the china shop. We have to use discretion, discrimination, things like that, diplomacy, evasive action, which is, like I said, it's not our normal strong suit. But when we use this kind of approach, it's more likely for us to achieve success at whatever we're aiming at. I always call it, even with this card, you can also get good advice, but I call it going through the back door so I can go through the front door from then on. So this is a card of a thief, but these are swords. So it's air energy, mental energy, like perhaps someone's stealing my ideas. The thief supposedly went into the camp in broad daylight and stole these 5 swords in front of everybody. So it's the elephant in the living room. Tells me if I'm working on some kind of a project or something like that, let's say, this is just an example. I'm working on a project at work and it's a really good idea and I've been busting my can on it. And I begin talking about it to one of my coworkers. The next day, I'm still working on the end result, but the next day the coworker goes in and turns around and presents the program or the action that I was getting ready to show to my boss, presents it as if it's theirs. That's just an example of somebody stealing someone else's intellectual property. So it's telling me if I have something up my sleeve and I think it's going to promote me or transform something in my life, like our words down here, maybe I just don't want to tell everybody. Maybe I want to put a piece of duct tape on my mouth and keep my thoughts to myself for the time being. Because remember, in here, we're going to have to make choices or changes and face a situation clearly. Maybe we want to change a job and say, the heck with it. I'm not being treated appropriately here, and this idea is better suited for another company. And when I bring this idea to another company, it's going to be more well suited and probably could get me a lot more money. Something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe I could invest in a different way, like what my intuition was telling me the first time around, like stay out of this deal and get this deal instead. And I listened to what somebody else was saying, and it wasn't appropriate or right for me. Now it's losing money and I want to get out of it. I need to look at it, evaluate it, decide what is right for me, what's going to expand and add to my life. If this is like a partnership situation, this Eight of Swords energy, then maybe there's another partnership that's better for us. It's time to make that change is what it's telling me, because our next card is partnership. Basically, it's a Two of Cups, and that's excellent because this is it's a coupling of some sort. It comes after the Ace, right, which is a fresh start in love or in relationships. This is all emotional energy. So two becomes one, and maybe I have some type of a union of some sort. So it could be the honeymoon stage of a relationship where everything is looking good, oh dear, you're the best in the world. No, you're the best, that kind of energy. Or sometimes if I looked at that Eight of Swords and I saw something that had a change in a relationship that I have right now, in order for it to go better or for my own self, maybe it's time to pull off the blindfold and say, this can change. So speaking up to my partner and saying, this isn't working for me. What can we do about it? Because it can make an old relationship new again. Now, we're all different Aries, so I don't know what situation. I'm just giving you different examples of situations, but this is when people are moving in harmony together and everything's going very smoothly. The plans are working out, whether it's love, whether it's friendship, whatever. There's plenty of accord. Everybody's getting along. The mutual admiration society, so to speak, everything's people working together towards something that's important to them. It usually will refer to a love match between sexes, but it can also mean new friendships and things. So a different kind of joining together, if we think about it like that. Maybe a team thing at work, things along those lines. But I think something is up here because our next card, when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about the next cards even more kind of pointing towards maybe a new love match or making an old love match relationship new maybe again, because the next one's a Knight of Cups, and that is a kind of a messenger. This knight is a messenger knight. So he's bringing me a message about love, could represent my one true love in my life, that knight on the white horse with the shining armor type deal coming in to save the situation. It indicates that we're very deeply involved with something, some kind of a very emotional situation, because this is cup energy, so that's the emotions, but involved to the point where nothing else matters to us. Period, Fort Pitt. That's it. That's what matters in my life. This is what I'm doing, you know. So we could be waiting for some kind of message about love, such as a declaration of love, maybe a proposal of marriage in some cases, with such anticipation. Whatever it is we're waiting for, even if it's a job proposal, because these are regular reading, they're just general readings, rather, I should say. So it can't be honed down. Maybe it's an offer from a job. You know, we are really, really excited about it. And there's so much anticipation running through our brains around this that everything else seems insignificant to us right now. So all relationships would pale by comparison. It's like, I need this and this is what I want, and that's what I'm fixated on for right now. And if it is not a person, or if it doesn't represent, let's say, my one true love, that's what I want to say. It's certainly a friend who's extremely honest, intelligent, willing to do anything for us, a very caring type of energy. So all of it is telling me, how do I want to put this? It's all going to work out in the end, and it's going to work out well. And that's a good thing. It's not only going to work out, it's going to work out well and to my benefit, but it comes because I've taken off this blindfold and I've made decisions and choices, basically, that are much more suitable in my own life. So like I said, I don't know if this is going to be relationship directly related, or is it this change that I have to think about, you know, or going to a new job, things like that, maybe working with a different team where we're all on the same side type energy. And some of us, it may be just point blank, I had to make a choice about a relationship to either change it while I can and take off that blindfold, or to move forward because there's something else missing around me, you know, or I've spoke too much about something that I thought was important to me that was going to move my life forward, and someone else took it from me. So it's something to really think about, because the end result is victory. Now we got the Six of Rods energy. This is triumphing over adversity and being victorious. This guy's coming home from the war, and he has the wreath, and everybody's waving the rods at him, and everybody's all happy. It's a big celebration. So it means victory is at hand. I am going to get exactly what it is that I'm thinking about or planning. So I have conquered that which was opposing me, and I've changed it somehow. So I would feel very secure in my identity, all my past self-doubt, you know, or that worry type energy, I'd be in the process of winning right now. I wouldn't have that anymore. I will have brought my affairs basically to a point of success, and I can expect to have my desires gratified now. I can expect that. It's just the way it's going to be, you know. So I can get gifts, I can get recognition, I can get awards, things like that. Maybe for a job well done or whatever it is. You know, like I said, it's going to be different in each one of our lives. But the fact remains, if we continue and if we evaluate, that's the word I want to use. If we evaluate what it is that's truly going to make me happy right now, take off that blindfold, you know, and where she can't even speak, and think about it and start to kind of hold my head up high and make the decisions and choices. That phone is ringing off the hook. Make the decisions and choices that I have to make in my own life to move along in my own path, and to either make my relationships more harmonious, or, to go on. However it is, maybe I just need to go on with my life because this one's not working right for me. And I think for the most of us, a lot of us, it's going to be that flat out, this isn't working for me, and I'll have this conversation and I will make the changes and move forward. The ones that are going to be beneficial to me. So keep that in mind for this month. Our angel card is let your past go. That's interesting. It says the burden of carrying your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set the burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and now it's gone. Well, there you go. I guess that's going to be exactly what it is. Maybe the end of having to go through the back door and order to always enter through the front and be just straightforward, my own Aries self. It says you receive this card because your thoughts and feelings about the past are holding you back. You're repeating a pattern because of unfinished emotions from your past. This card is a sign to forgive and move on, to stop painful patterns. It doesn't mean you need to be with the person you've forgiven. It just means that you have to let the toxic feelings go in exchange for peace. So approach a new situation or a relationship with positive expectation. Avoid routines. Speak to a counselor or a support group. Forgive those who've hurt you. Forgive yourself. The worst is now behind you. Keep your thoughts about the situation high and bright. I don't know what we're going to transform this month, but we have the strength and the power to be able to do it and come out on top or victorious in the end. Well, Aries, that's our reading for this month. I want to tell you all thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me, or if you just want to go neb about me, or if you need an appointment, all the information's down below the screen in the About section over at the website. And over there are 2 short videos. One explains the prayer class I put out there for you. The other one explains the sutra classes. Prayer class is 2.5 hours long. It tells you how to format prayers, why you do them the way you do. The sutras are simple thought forms you put in meditation. Takes 5 minutes a day, and it enhances the clear perceptions dramatically. But the videos that explain them are over at the website. So everybody I've met through 5 whole years of doing YouTubes now, and everybody I've met through 33 years of doing this work, want to tell you all it's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to serve you, and hopefully I will see you back here next month. Bye-bye.